Okay, we received the sign that you can already see us, so hello everyone. Welcome to the next LennyLiveEN. Today we will be talking about the bond, especially the bond between the parents with a newborn child. My name is Kasia Knapik. I am a team of a member of LennyLiveEN team, and the mother of one wonderful son. And our special guest today is Joanna Belinka-Stoch, a psychologist, psychotherapist. Asiu, would you like to tell a few words about yourself to our listeners?
Yes, hello everybody. I'm Joanna, you mentioned, and I'm working in a special area of psychology as a developmental psychology, but based on attachment and play. So today we will be speaking in this area. And I'm working in the Newfield Institute, Poland, and the main center is in Vancouver, in Canada. It's a Newfield Institute, and we are trying here in Poland. We are trying to spread this idea. Yes, and I'm a wife, raising man, and mother of two children.
Okay, all right. So in the meantime, I will just let you know that since we're live, you are welcome to leave any questions in the comments, and we also have Asia at the backstage who will be reading the questions to us. So if there's something that bothers you or interested you in a special way, feel free to ask. But we already have a list of questions that you asked.
Questions.
There are so many of them. I hope we will have enough time to go through all of them. If we don't, please forgive us, but we will try to cover as many as possible. I would like to start with my favorite one. I believe that it's something that every single parent can relate to. The question is, when will we sleep again?
Yes. Yes. So of course it's a funny question.
Yes.
But in the same way, it's a pure true. And it depends a little bit on us, because we can do a little things to change the pattern, this deprivation, this lack of sleep, and I think every couple, every family can do some things to improve this situation. It can be a lot of resolutions, sleep with children, or with this. Some box besides bed for children, for child, but the main thing is that for sure this lack of sleep has a big influence on the relationship, on our state, on our emotions.
Exactly. This is why I'm sorry to interrupt you. I know that this question may seem a little bit off the topic, but actually I asked it with premeditation because sleep deprivation is something that influences the bond, the relationship between parents severely.
Yes.
Okay. You can continue.
Of course, this is something interesting thing about this, because we need sleep to rest. And we need rest to be fully ourselves, to be to live according to our values, our goals. But we can't be in this rest mode without the basic physical needs being fulfilled.
Yeah. So
we can't handle with emotion in a good way without lack of sleep. And interesting is that the sleep is the main way to rest, but we can have another way to rest besides sleep. And this is the rest for our emotion, for our emotional situation, emotional state. And this rest is connected with something like play, true play, like music, dancing, drawing, running.
Whatever relaxes.
Yes, whatever you feel that you can be in the playful mode because of these activities. So it's all about rest. But the main way to rest is sleep. Yeah. But we can have emotional rest, and these are activities which gives us the feel of play.
Yeah, okay, so since we already tackled the topic of sleep in general, I think that many parents also have questions about co-sleeping with their babies and how it influences the relationship between parents, because many parents feel that perhaps they would like to sleep with their babies, however they are afraid that it will negatively influence the relationship between parents. What do you say?
Yes, every couple is different. So for some couples, yes, it can be a problem. Like one of person, mainly men in this situation. So woman would like to sleep with a child, and man has some fear, some doubt about this. And of course, it can be a problem. But you know, from my point of view, it's something like it don't have to be the main problem. Probably this thing is only the gate for release some bigger problems. Like if you have really strong attachment, opportunity to feel this attachment, to feel your own vulnerability, your own sadness, your own feelings, you can deal with situation like this. But if there is something wrong, something one person something missing. One person feel not fulfilled because of this relation, feel too much separation in this big changes. Yes, of course, this person can feel okay, it's not okay, because it's our time, it should be our time. All day you are with child, and it should be our time. Yes. So
as far as everything is okay in the relationship, it should not be a problem. But if it's a problem, it usually gives a vent to some deeper emotions.
Yes, our instincts, and when I say our, I mean woman. Yes, instincts. It's really pure and really clear about this. I would like to have my child close. Yeah. It can be one bed, it can be something close to bed, but really close. And I think there's some reason for this instinct, and children sleep better.
And mothers sleep better like this.
Yes,
I think the reason is also very practical, simply because you don't have to wake up and try to put the baby to sleep again every time he or she wakes up. You just hold him or her close to you, and you go back to sleep.
Yes, and sometimes, you know, it's interesting because sometimes the body, the mind of man can adapt to this situation, and research show us that men can adapt in this way, that they can hear this cry and change mother to just hold for a couple minutes and put to sleep again. So if you are in this mode, okay, we are together in this, and we can switch sometimes. Your brain is adaptivity, neuroplasticity is this is the definition, of this phenomenon, that our brain can adapt to a various situation.
Okay, let's move on with the questions. We have so many of them. This one is a general one, but I think it's very important. How do we survive the emotional hurricane from the first months, perhaps even years, after the baby comes? How does the mother understand what is happening inside her head emotionally, and how does the husband understand her and not give up on her, on the family? It's
funny because the answer is in this question. Yes, the word understanding. This is the answer for me.
How do we make someone understand?
Yes, so we can't make someone understand, but of course we can talk about various things. We can looking for knowledge to support us, looking for a relationship with people who can have a bigger experience in this area, and of course we have to understand what's going on here. That this is the normal situation with a really big emotion, big frustration, and this frustration is looking for some release, for being expressed, and it's a normal way for our emotion. Some frustration, it's like in a maze. Okay, maybe here, maybe this is the resolution. But you know, there's no resolution in this situation, because it's just a big change, and you can't deal with this change. You have to adapt to this situation. So this big frustration, a big maze. Frustration is looking for
a way out.
Yes, way out. Yes. So understanding of this situation, when we are understanding this, we can know that okay, I have to find some way to express this frustration, this emotion, because they are and they will be here in my heart, in my mind. And I don't want to give this emotion expressed to my child or my husband. I would like to express in a different way. So what can be my different way? And we are born with encoded different ways of expression of emotion. We see in small children this. Some are bite, kicking, screaming, you know, and later drawing, dancing, talking. This is our natural way of express emotion. So we can use this. If I really love some running, or dancing, I can do it. I can do it with my husband, with my child. I can do it every day. Not only in this situation. Oh, I'm so frustrated. I have to dance. Okay, it's a defense mode. We can do it. But if in a daily life we are using this this truth about us. We can have more harmony, in this expressing of emotions.
Okay, well, there is like one thought that comes to my mind, and I'm wondering if you would agree that the key information and key way to do it is to verbalize your emotions. I believe that one of the worst things that people do when there is some frustration or some problem is that they keep it quiet. They don't let it come out to the light. And once we name the problem, we admit that it's there. It's like a starting point to do something about it.
Yes, great that you mentioned about this, because the most popular way to misunderstanding of frustration is when we perceive frustration as anger and or guilt. So I'm angry on my husband because he's doing something, and it's not about this. This is probably some small things. I feel frustration, and the main way for me to express frustration is anger. This is because of cultural context. In our culture, the main way is anger, even if there's pure frustration connected with our current situation.
I heard once that, I'm not sure if you would confirm that, that actually anger, emotionally and psychologically, is very close to anxiety and fear. That actually when somebody is angry, he actually or she actually fears something.
Yes.
That's the way of expressing it.
When we are digging deeper, we can find that when we are angry on someone, on my husband, it's because we are we feel fear, because we are afraid about that something is can happen to our child. We feel really big caring about my child. So these are pure emotion, and it's so valuable when we can attach to this pure emotion, not to this fake.
The surface. I believe that this is just like it manifests itself as anger. But we have to look deeper.
Oh, I forgot about something. Can I add? Yes, the main emotion when we have delivery, after the situation of family is changed, is a big separation, and it's the most important emotion in our heart is separation, and it's love, it's being attached, but the opposite of this is separation. And we just feel big separation in context of our relationship, because we have a lot of opportunity to fulfill by this relationship, and now we don't have. We feel grief, we feel big loss of this relation. So we have to deal with frustration. We have to deal with this separation. We have to find another way to feel this this closeness, and in the same way to taking care of newborn. And if it's the first child, yeah, you can feel how big it is. Yeah, it's almost impossible not have one of the biggest journey in this situation. It is one of the biggest journey of our life.
Yeah, following this, before we started our transmission, I already talked to Asia a little bit because this topic is very interesting, and I believe that we talked about something that I think needs to be said here, that it's not really possible to maintain your previous life and all the passions and activities you did and all the relationships you had with this new situation when your baby is born. So basically we are belied into the vision of a mother who does all of it and is great at the same time and has a flat stomach after 2 weeks after giving birth. Who does that? Right. And Asha mentioned that it's very important to acknowledge that we have to give up on some things in order to provide space for the big new things.
Yes, this is the adaptation process.
Yes, and it's natural. Like we have to realize that there's no way to keep the life we had before and add a big thing, because there's not enough room for that. We have to realize that we have to give up some things, and it's actually better if we consciously make this decision, and it's easier to
I'm choosing. What I really would like to not like because most often I don't wanna give up. I would like to have all.
But you choose, right? Yes. You choose what you are giving up on and what you just don't want to give up on, and in this way you can start the process of grief, which is also very necessary here, right?
Yes, and I think that one of the most underappreciated reason of problems after in a relationship after delivery is not realized how big loss we have in this situation and how big grief I have in my way. I remember for me with the first child it was a big struggle. I wanted to keep everything, and I was a really active person with a lot of passion in my life, and everything was so fulfilled, and fulfilling for me. And it was amazing struggling, and it was every day. I would like to do it like from my list, and I can't. I would like to, and I can't. And frustration on my husband, because you have to help me with this, and then I would like to keep all this string. Yes, and it was so. I remember one lecture of Dr. Neufeld. It was an amazing lecture, and the title of this lecture was it's not about me anymore. It was a big relief for me, because suddenly I realized, okay, the culture sent me this message. I have to be a beautiful, smart, amazing woman, and in the same I have to be and I have to in the same way at the same time I have to be amazing mother, amazing wife, etc. And I just picked up, okay, I'm choosing my child now, and she's the most important now, and it was our together decision, and because the child is the most needy in this pattern, family pattern, the child is the most needy. She couldn't fulfill her needs alone, and I will hold my needs because mom has to do something. No,
because mom has to work.
Yes, and sometimes has to, and this is another grief, because I could pick it up, pick my child, but sometimes we don't have this opportunity. Yes, and then it's an amazing loss, amazing grief to amazing journey with this. Yes.
Okay.
Yes, it was a big process for me, but I'm really grateful for this process. I'm just grateful, because I can. Interesting thing.
Okay.
I never missed think I give up. Never.
Oh.
It was amazing, because then I realized, oh, I don't need it.
You are great at going through the process of
yes.
Totally.
The situation shows me that I didn't need a lot of things. It was our culture showed me imprinting in my mind that I need it, but I need it. I never missed it.
Wonderful. That's really great. Okay, since we are already at this topic, we have a question. Is it okay to abandon our pre-mom life as individual in order to help and to guide my child in his journey of life?
Yes, I think everything is okay if you are choosing it consciously. If it's your choice, if it's your decision, and because it's a part of our journey, you know, we can't, I feel that we sometimes we can't just stay when we are not in this situation, it's somebody's situation, stay and say, okay, you know, for you it will be the best, this and this. Everybody has a lot of experience, a different experience, and we have a different way to understand something, to realize something. And I mentioned about my own way, but there's many ways, yes? Many people, many ways. So if you feel that, okay, I really would like to do it, I would like to fully be with my child and fully experience it, and this is my way, okay, do it. But if you feel, okay, I would like to mix it, be in this area, I would like to fulfill this instinct, and but I would like to keep this and this, and we can't judge what is better, because you know, we don't have a mind to judge something like that. We are too small.
It reminds me of a question that is totally off the topic, but it very often comes up in our baby wearing industry. Very often our customers ask us, which carrier will be the best for my baby? And it always rings a bell. There is no such thing as the best carrier. Like, we have various types, right?
Yes,
we always say we have various types, and this type will work better for you, and this type will work better for another mother or father.
Yes.
There's no such thing as one and only best thing for everybody.
Yes. So first step, you have to realize your needs, your situation, yourself, your belly.
Just has to be.
In my case, it was. I don't.
Every solution just needs to be tailored to the individual needs, right? So whatever works for you is okay. If you want to be a full-time mom, it's perfectly okay. If you don't want it, if you know that the father of the baby will take care of the baby really nice and you can go back to work, do it. It's perfectly okay, as long as it works for you. Okay, we also had 2 questions about more intimate relationships. So here is a comment. Actually, maybe it's not a good question. There is no such thing as a bad question, so it is a good question. Our moms are ashamed to ask. I don't have any desire for intimate activities, but I love him. All changed after birth. What would you say?
Yeah, of course. Sometimes we need a lot of time, and that's it. There's so many ways to feel intimacy, to feel this closeness. So, you know, our culture, it's from this point of view, our culture, it's not support us, because there's a over-sexualized culture, to be honest. And it's only one little way to feel closeness, to feel fulfilled in a relationship, and everything has their own time, and one person can be ready after 3 months, and another person after 2 years. Yes, and we can't be afraid that our relation will be not okay because now we don't have a sex. It's you know, who can say something like that? It's such a individual situation, and of course sex is an amazing bonding process with all this hormone, etc. And it can be helpful. Okay, if you are ready, it can be helpful to feel this intimacy, but it's not necessary. And to be honest, sometimes you can be ready, but because of emotional state you are not ready.
I believe
so physically you are ready, but without emotional closeness, emotional intimacy, you are not ready, and you are still in the defensive mode all the time. In the defensive mode, yes.
Or you're just too tired, like
yes, of
we
course,
talked about sleep deprivation. So there are many reasons. So one thing would be give yourself time, right?
Yes.
And the other one, I think that they could work on closeness in a very delicate, gentle way, like touch each other more, cuddle more, hug more. I think this will promote this closeness, and perhaps maybe it will change.
Yes, no, we are not our bodies. Yeah. So.
Okay. Another question. How can you, as a mother, make it easier to get through depression, not get rid of your husband? I love the expression, not get rid of your husband, when you feel exhausted. So basically, mother is in a deep despair, and how can she take care of the relationship with her husband?
You know, again, our culture. Now we have some model of maybe some model of nuclear family. So the parents and children, and it wasn't like this. We had a lot of support from our.
It takes a village, right?
Yes, it takes a village, exactly. So there are some situations when you have to have support from world, yes. For this family, and when mothers in depression state, there is this situation, because for first couple of months there can be situation that the father is the main person, because he's in a better state to take care of a child or children, and this family does need support. Yes, and of course sometimes we don't have support in this situation when we are in this needy. So first step is realize that there's no something like that, that couple has to, the two persons in a couple has to fulfill every needs. It's impossible. It's just impossible, and husband can fulfill all my needs, and I can fulfill all needs of my husband. We need other person in our life, adult person, because of course child can't fulfill, that shouldn't fulfill our needs. Yes, and if we have this person, we are really happy. If don't, it's a good way to try to be in this. In this village, create some village. It's not easy, but sometimes it's just little change, little decision in our.
It's only asking for help.
Yes.
We often don't do that.
Yes.
Simply. Okay, but there's also something that comes to my mind. If a mother of a child suffers from postpartum depression at the moment, and I believe the lady asked about the needs of the husband. She's worried that the husband will feel neglected because of that. I feel that postpartum depression is already a very severe ailment, and actually what she probably should focus on at the moment, because it doesn't mean it's going to be like this forever, right? Right now she's in this deep need of help, and she really, that's what I'm thinking. You will confirm or not. She should not concentrate on what her husband needs. Actually, right now they are together. They are a team, and right now she's the one needing help. And I think it's okay to concentrate on getting better for her, and not concentrating on how my husband is going to feel about it. There will come time when she feels better to rebuild this bond if it gets broken, because it may be in a different way. If it turns out that the husband is an amazing partner and would support her perfectly, I believe that she will fall in love with him again after all that.
Yes, and that's possible. Yeah, but we have research about this.
If it's really depression, not I hate to say it, not just baby blues. It's never just baby blues, okay? But depression is, we have to understand that it's a very severe condition, very severe mental condition, and it really isn't time for me to think about what my husband feels or not. What do you say?
I would like to respond in this way. Under our behavior, there's always some emotions, And if some women feel okay, I'm afraid what he will be thinking and what will be about this relationship, I think it's really valuable to keep it. This is feelings. We can plan what I should feel or not feel, but she can just express, honey, I feel fear because this and this.
So talking about it again,
yes,
right?
And in the same way, I can't handle about this. And now we have on this plate, everything on the plate, and we can try handle. Because it's normal that she's taking care, and it's good that she's taking care about her husband emotion. But when we are talking about this, we can decide, okay, probably this is the situation when the husband maybe should be in this, we are calling this alpha position.
Okay.
So the mainly taking care, caregiver. So the husband taking care about the woman, and then the woman can taking care of children.
Yeah.
It was a really natural way of this process. Yeah. So it's great that she's taking care, but definitely they can talk about this, how we can organize it to have more harmony, more abilities to grow in the situation, not being depressed by the situation. And it's interesting because depression is depress. It's like suppression a lot of emotions.
Yeah.
When we can express everything when we have. So the resolution is not depress more. No, the resolution is express what I have in my heart.
There's also one more thing that comes to my mind. Like, I understand that such a situation can also be difficult for fathers, because very often we focus on mothers after the child is born, and as a matter of fact, they are also in a totally new situation.
Yes.
Especially this concerns the fathers who really very actively take care of the baby.
Yes.
Well, we know it's not always like this, but fortunately more and more fathers.
Yes. And they didn't have a rite of passage, because we have a pregnancy, whole process, delivery,
hormones which help you to build the bond.
Yes, and they don't have everything. So this process starting during the delivery, when father is with mother during the delivery, and it's a shock, of course, because of how hard is this process, and then every day is okay. I adapt to the situation, so we can just support each other, and it's great when we try support, not judge.
Exactly, empathy.
Empathy, and I can say even compassion.
Yeah.
Because I don't feel really great this construct of empathy, because so many struggling in scientific world about this. But compassion is not only that I feel what you can feel in this situation,
but I also feel sorry about.
It's motivation to do something. It's this energy that I can. We have to change something. We have to organize. We can help each other. It's an activity connected with this feeling. Not only okay, I feel what you feel and what now.
Yeah. Exactly.
Oh, I can. Okay. Because I remember this example from our life, me and my husband life, when I felt that he is doing something wrong with our child, and I was angry on him. Oh, you should do in a different way, and I was feeling that I protecting my child. So whole empathy was on my child, and in the same way, my beloved husband was in the darkest place. Wow. Yes, and it's not my way of life. It's not my goal to do it in this way. And this can be pure empathy, pure instinct to do it. Oh, I'm protecting, and no matter what. And it's not a good way to do it. Better way, and compassion is from this like whole light. So what I can do, because I love my child and I love my husband, and I can try find resolution from this compassion mode, resolution for the situation, better resolution.
That will be better for both of them.
Yes, and it supports the bond between child and husband. Because child feel everything, yes. This attack from mother. She have to protect me from him. Why? Yeah. Yeah. So from this compassion point of view, we can put this light on the whole situation, not only on one.
Yeah, especially that it's. I know it's a cliche, but it's often said that the basis for the happiness of the child is the happiness of the parents, like their good relationships. So this is like the starting point where we have to start. Okay, I think that we will end with this one last question, because I think it will nicely sum up all what we said. How do you avoid allowing resentments to build up during a time of such change? How do you ensure you're both communicating what you need in a loving way?
I think what can save us? Yeah? It's some rituals, some patterns in our daily life, rituals of closeness. We can't rely on our maturity or our emotional development, our process, because we can be disappointed about our abilities, but we can use rituals just like morning hugging or evening saying goodbye, evening expressing of feelings, expressing of grateful to each other. It can be really, really small things. It don't have to be regular dates, some surprise, etc. We just have create our own rituals to feel this closeness.
Okay. All right. Our backstage support already shows us that we're talking too much, but this is like a huge topic, and we could
like to talk.
I believe that more. We will stay here and keep talking, even though you will not be able to see or hear it. Okay, everyone. So
thank you for these questions.
Yes, thank you very much for your questions. Sorry we didn't manage to answer all of them. Hopefully, we tackled at least a little bit the majority of them. That's all, right? So we're saying goodbye. See you next time. Bye bye.